salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is MazezRealm once again, and welcome to another episode of my Keys to Success series. And on this episode, I'm actually going to be talking about something that is not often spoken about on YouTube, and that is how you orchestrate a comeback in Black Ops 2. Now, I know a lot of you have been playing this game for a little while now, and I'm sure that you've noticed that not every single match that we join goes according to plan. I know that most of us want to set up the best possible class that we can make, set up the best perks, set up the best equipment with the best guns, but even that sometimes doesn't translate into an easy win in every single match. And sometimes that's how it goes in this game. Sometimes you'll just be playing better players, or sometimes you'll just be in the shit end of the stick when it comes to connecting to the host and not lagging. So basically this commentary is going to concentrate on what you really have to do, not necessarily in game, but mentally, and basically changing your mindset when you have a match where things aren't going your way. So without further ado, I'll jump right into the actual gameplay here. And as you can see, this is probably one of the worst gameplays that I have ever posted on my channel. And that is the exact same reason why I'm actually posting this gameplay on my channel. Because you see that I just had a really shitty start to this match. I don't know what was going on. I mean, I had a decent class with decent perks, and I set up the gunfights as perfectly as I thought, at least. You know, I tried to engage the enemy with a little bit of cover behind me. I tried to engage the enemy where there were teammates around me, and just nothing was working. Everything came up short. I was getting hit markers when I shouldn't have, and things were just not going my way, and it was tough, you know, because our natural inclination is frustration. That is the first inclination that usually happens in any multiplayer game, and especially Call of Duty because of the fast-paced nature of the game, where we're just so frustrated that then we actually begin to play worse. So the first step to orchestrating a comeback is actually mentally calming yourself down and trying to concentrate more on not screaming at your TV, which is actually easier said than done, but actually concentrating on how you can play a little bit differently so that you can actually try to win the gunfights that you're losing. The second thing that you just noticed happen on screen is that sometimes if one class is not working out for you, switch out to another class. And how do you know whether one class is not working out for you? Well, it's kind of simple. If you're losing all of your close quarters gunfights because you have a long range loadout equipped, that obviously shows that you should probably switch to a close quarters class so that you can compete in close quarters. If you're losing all of your gunfights at longer ranges, then you want to equip a class that will help you at longer ranges. That obviously seems like something that is a no-brainer, but when you're in the moment and you're struggling, you're thinking of just hitting that X button and skipping the kill cam and going right in to the next gunfight, and that is not always the best idea. So, as you saw, I switched to my Remington 870 because I seem to be losing all of my gunfights at close quarters, so I said, why not? I'm going to switch over to a shotgun, and a decent shotgun at that. So, then I started to play to the strengths of the class that I had equipped. That is definitely what you should consider when equipping any loadout. And when you're switching loadouts in the middle of a game, you want to make sure that you're equipping a loadout that is not as necessarily hard to use as other loadouts. And the reason for that is that mentally you're probably already frustrated as it is. So equipping something that's hard to use is not always going to pay off because you'll just end up getting more frustrated. So just keep that in mind as well. You don't want to, switch from an assault rifle if you're having a hard time with that and losing all your close quarters gunfights, and then switching over to a sniper rifle quick scoping class and then trying to go ham with a sniper at close quarters combat. You don't want to do that. You want to actually play to the strengths of your weaknesses, if that makes sense. And that is a really huge thing that you have to implement into your gameplay. And then another thing that is actually quite obvious as well, when you are in a match where you are not doing that well, is to communicate even more with your teammates that you're playing with. Here in this match, I only had one teammate with me, and the rest of them were randoms. And when I noticed that I was doing really bad, I was communicating even more because the score was not as lopsided to the point where we could not come back. And we were playing catch up the entire match. We never took the lead in this match. It was just a constant battle uphill trying to get that lead. And the only reason why we got that lead was because I started to communicate a lot more. Then once you start to communicate a lot more, your teammates will get that vibe, and then they'll start to communicate a lot more. And then once you start getting that communication, then everybody starts to play better collectively, which leads to the score starting to get a little closer and closer until, who knows, you might actually take the lead right at the last minute and win the match. And just as a little spoiler alert, that's exactly what ends up happening in this match later on. You see that the score is still a little lopsided. It's 62 to 68. All they need is a few kills to win this team deathmatch. And I just attempted to do the best that I possibly could to hold down this part of the map so that my team would have a really good spot to spawn in if they were dying. So I really tried to hold down this building as much as I could, and the score started to get closer and closer as the time started to expire. And you see that the score is now 71 to 74. They only need one more kill to win this match. And I was telling my team, look, we can come back. We can do this. All we need to do is keep our shit together. And we ended up doing that, and we ended up winning the match. So I really sincerely hope that this gameplay showed the type of mindset you need to have in order to orchestrate a comeback in Black Ops 2. I really sincerely hope that this helps you guys, and until next time, this has been MazezRealm. I'm out.